Okay, so hello everybody. Today I'll be talking about Apple company's business model and Apple is the company that I've chosen for the consumers during this COVID-19 pandemic. So as you can see in the screen, you can see an Apple iPhone and Apple MacBook Air and the Apple logo, which is the most famous Apple logo. So the contents in this presentation will be definitely the introductions of Apple company and then following by the products of Apple company and then following by the services that Apple has offered. So introduction of Apple Incorporation. Who was Apple founded? Apple was founded by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. Apple is actually founded in 1976, and the founders decided to turn it into an Apple Incorporated company during 1977. And till today, Apple is still active and ongoing, the company, as it is an absolutely brilliant company and it's fighting at the top spot of the computer market or electronic market. Apple's HQ is based in Cupertino, California, United States, and Apple is an electronic retail store that sells phones, tablets, computers, and other accessories, for example, wireless headsets, wireless charging ports, speakers, and the retail store is actually able to find every single place on earth. So, how good is that? Apple is also a well-known and a most valuable brand in the world. Talking about Apple, everyone has an Apple product. If we're saying rich people and mid-range income people, most of them have Apple products. So, what are Apple products? What are those Apple products? So, Apple products released on December 9, late 2019, which is the iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11 Pro Max. As you can see, iPhone 11 has double camera lens, and iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max has triple camera lens, which has magnificent photo capturing, and it has a very fast processor, which is an A13 Bionic chip. And this three iPhone has the longest battery lives of the iPhone generations, which is the latest one. Moving on, the iPhone SE 2. Apple doesn't want to lose sales in during this COVID-19 pandemic, so Apple released iPhone SE Generation 2, which has the fastest yet processor in installed in the phone, which is the A13 Bionic chip, and as it is a small phone, so the battery life lasts about the same as iPhone 8. Well, if you're saying the battery life doesn't last long, then you'll be talking about charging. So why not? Let's not think about cable charging, wired charging. When you're trying to charge your iPhone SE Generation 2, you'll be actually like struggling to find a cable somewhere. Why not wireless charging? So iPhone SE Generation 2 actually supports wireless charging. So why not? And you might be wondering, why is there an red colored iPhone? Well, it's called an Apple Red product. So what is an Apple Red product? Apple Red product is about talking about charity. So if you're purchasing a iPhone Apple Red product or a Apple Red product, the amount of money that you pay is actually going to the donations for charity. As now the COVID-19 coronavirus is actually going on quite seriously in the world, so Apple has decided to launch this red product so that if anyone who buys this red product, the money the that you pay will be directly going to the charity for in order to help the COVID-19 pandemic peoples that are doing a hard time there. So yeah, that's one of the reason that Apple decided to launch that red iPhone. Moving on, the other product will be a MacBook Air, which is the computer that Apple gave. So the computer is actually up to a four-core processors, which has Intel Core i3 up to i7, which is an absolutely marvelous fast processor, and it's up to 2 terabyte of SSD storage, which it may save up to your beautiful photos, your important documents, your important files, your important data. It should be more than enough. And that product is made out of recycled aluminum. Why are we talking about recycled aluminum? Because in this world we're talking about green technology. We're going to recycling. We're going to reusing. So Apple decided to recycle aluminium, decided to produce this product with recycled aluminium. And this product comes with fingerprint password unlock. So how cool is that to unlock a computer by using your finger, you know? So yeah, these are the Apple products. We'll move on to the Apple services. So we're talking about Apple Care. What is Apple Care? So whenever you buy an Apple product, there must be an warranty. So they always come with a 1 year warranty for an Apple product. But if you buy an Apple product plus Apple Care is acting as a warranty which longs your warranty to about 2 years, which it may help your product. If your product has any issues or it's spoiled or the system's not functioning well, you may take to Apple and change the iPhone or the Apple computer. So Apple Care is quite considerable. And moving on to Apple iCloud. Apple iCloud is a software where it saves up to 5 GB of your personal data. Personal data as in your photos, your notes in your iPhone or your MacBook, which is the Apple computer. Yeah, so it keeps all your data safe in a place, and it does not. If you're deleting it on your product, on your computer or on your phone, it is still stored in the Apple iCloud software. So why not? It keeps your data safe. Well, if we're talking about buying an Apple product, we'll be walking into a retail store, Apple retail store. Whenever you walk into a Apple retail store, there's always a warm welcome from the employees at Apple. Well, Apple always has direct access to Apple experts. So if you have different type of questions about the product or you want to learn more about the products, we just walk up to a salesperson in the Apple store and they might be able to tell you everything that you want to know about the product if you are trying to purchase the item or you're trying to learn about the item. Well, Apple experts has a ton of experience of the product. So with with the Apple experts, it may help to solve all your questions that you may be asked. You may be able to ask them. And moving on to Apple Siri, which is one of the services that is given by Apple. Apple Siri is actually Apple's most trustable artificial intelligence voice system where it may help you to identify various kinds of questions that you're asking. For example, you can ask, "Hey Siri, what's the day like?" Or uh, you can ask, "Hey Siri, what's my plan like?" So you can have different type of questions that you can ask Siri, and Siri may be able to answer all of your questions. So that those are the services that is uh, Apple offered. So because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Well, this saying is said by Steve Jobs as the founder of Apple. Well, to me, I would say this saying is actually quite meaningful, as if you think you can change the world, as long as you are willing to trust yourself, take that leap and jump forward one step, you will be able to do it. So this is the quote of Steve Jobs, and I'll take it and put it in my heart. And thank you for spending your precious time with me. I hope to see you again, and thank you very much.